Well, half of my favourite regular political panel is back with us this afternoon. Michael Kroger's still sunning himself in Europe like Kieran Gilbert, but I have former Labor Senator Stephen Conroy with me. Look, Stephen Conroy, thanks for joining us. When are we finally...
What are we doing wrong that we're here?
Well, John Ralph basically said the same thing to me before, by the way. He was saying Damien Hardwick's off in Europe like everyone else except us, but the viewers aren't there, I'm pretty sure, unless they're watching on Foxtel Go. I'm not even sure you can get that in Europe. But you know, sympathy to all of us who are here in an Australian winter and aren't rich enough to be there. When are we finally going to see this RBA governor, and is it wise to put a bureaucrat like Jenny Wilkinson in there?
Well, look, I've got no idea who they will, the Treasury will select. I think it's important that they pick someone from outside the existing loop. I think the failure of the Reserve Bank over the last 12 months has been catastrophic for the Australian community. I think that they've essentially got their thinking, their modelling, their assumptions wrong. And I think it needs to be someone strong enough to go in there and challenge the underpinnings that they've been using for the last 20 years, because they've just been getting it wrong. Their predictions have been consistently wrong. Now, in my first year of economics, what they used to say was, look, if the real world results differ from the model results, you go and you change the model. But the Reserve Bank have not wanted to take basic first year economic advice about why they've been so wrong so consistently.
It'll be something indeed if a woman's put in charge, won't it? And I guess a bit of a boon for Jim Chalmers if he were to act that way.
Well, look, I would hope that there's going to be change. I think, as I've said, the bank needs change for the reasons I've just said, and I hope they find a strong candidate who is able to go in and make some changes, because it just needs a new broom.
Now, Paul Keating's comments about NATO, is he starting to resemble a crazy political uncle?
Well, I think he's certainly starting to fall into that category. I like to think of it more like the Muppets, you know, those two old blokes up in the Waldorf and Statler. I'm not sure which one he. Yeah, I think he's heading into that category at the moment. It's just like he just refuses point blank to accept the world has moved on 20 years from when he was directly involved in these things. I mean, the alliance between China and Russia, not a word from Paul Keating. China helping Russia attack the Ukraine. Not a word from Paul Keating. NATO says, look, we think we might set an office up somewhere over in the Indo-Pacific. And suddenly Paul Keating thinks, you know, that this is the end of the world. But, you know, China supporting an invasion of Ukraine, no problem, Paul.
Yeah, indeed. What's your prediction for the Fadden by-election finally?
Look, I would think that if there's any sort of swing in Peter Dutton's home state, you know, this is the home state. It's his strongest state. It's where Labor's been traditionally weakest. We've got our lowest parliamentary representation. I would think that if we got any sort of swing to us, it's a good result for Albo. But if there's a swing against Peter Dutton in Queensland, it's diabolical for Peter Dutton.
Well, we saw
I don't believe we're going to win it.
Oh, no, I understand.
Yeah,
we saw Aston
Melbourne,
together.
Aston.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's right. I'm sorry I won't be with you on Saturday night. But you've got a great panel lined up with Murray and Chiz, so I think you'll have all the goss you need.
Well, yep, I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. And eventually we'll see Michael Kroger again.
Good to talk.
And
we live in hope.